Hey, Tom, move over to your left a little bit. You're almost out of frame. I don't know why you're always out of frame.
10 years on a TV show and I can't find the frame.
Welcome back to Talkville. Boy, are we excited. This is season 4. Tom Welling is with me. Tommy?
Hey, guys. Happy to be here. It wouldn't be a season 4 first episode unless there was a problem. We already had one.
Yep.
But Bryce, thank you for driving up. Thank you for being here in person. Bryce is here.
I love Ryan. Ryan, we wish you the best of luck. He's playing some music with his dad. They're doing a live show.
So I just always step in when Ryan has plans with his dad, is essentially
what happens. That's what's happening. You're our second. Actually, you're third. We usually have Jason.
I'm the dad subbing.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you're here. You drove up a good hour.
Yeah.
And you're here. I had to help him with some things here because he's never really done it. So thank God I paid attention to what Ryan was doing. And it seems like everything's recording. So we're good.
Well, where's Jason?
Jason is editing.
Jason was too busy as well?
He's editing frantically, trying to get these episodes out.
He's not editing anything. This is our first episode of the season. He's got nothing to edit yet. That's a lie.
Oh, well, he has other jobs. He can't make a living off what we pay him.
That's true.
But we love our Jason. Jason, thank you. This is a Smallville Rewatch podcast. I didn't think we'd last this long. We're in season 4, which is kudos to you.
Oof.
The patrons, the listeners. Thank you for the support and love. If you want to keep us going, join patreon.com/talkville. That's patreon.com/talkville. And if you do that, we keep the show going and you support, and we appreciate it. Think about it this way. Like if you go on Hulu, if you want to watch your favorite show or whatever, it's like $14.99, right? Something like that. So if you like the show every week, and you want to give something back, go to patreon.com/talkville. Whatever you
and there's cool stuff there too. Like for the season 3 finale, you guys did the rewatch, like companion rewatch of the episode, which was rad. So,
Yep.
Yep.
You get lots of perks. In fact, Tom and I did a Zoom a while back. We'll probably do another one down the road with all the top tier patrons. The top tier patrons also get their names shouted out at the end of every episode. Top tiers, along with other patrons, get to ask questions to the guests or to us. Or about episodes. So that's really cool.
Just like Bryce said, there is stuff.
Yeah, it's
like
not
you do
just
get something.
Blind support. There's also stuff.
Yeah.
Also, if you get a chance to call the hotline, do so. Leave a question for the episode. Make sure it's short. You know how I love long messages. And you could also do it for future episodes to make sure you get on the air. All that information is down in the show's description. The handles are at Talkville. You can go anywhere. And if you write a review, it really helps the algorithms and all that stuff and shows how much you like the show. And subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. It's a big one. Season 4, the season opener, season 1, Crusade.
This was huge.
This episode rocked. This was sick.
I had my issues.
I mean, listen, can I just, not only was everything cool and we have 2 awesome characters that are introduced, but I felt like I was in Paris. I felt like I was in the Sahara with Tony Stark trying to find, because I was married to Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like I was all around the world. This is an episode more than any, the character I played went to different, planets, but this is the first time I felt like I was really going around our planet. And it was, every scene was huge. I loved it.
Yeah, I felt so too. I was a little confused about some things. Maybe you guys can help me out. I don't always comprehend or understand things, which is comprehending.
Well, I think that's why the episode felt cool too, is it felt like a different show. And it's maybe because like none of the scenes were done at the school. Like it was all, it just felt way
a little more
different.
adult.
Yeah.
A little more grown up. You get, I know we're going to get into it soon. Sorry guys to keep you waiting, but Lois comes in, she's not in high school. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Lex is out there doing cool stuff. Clark has been to other planets and other times. I don't really understand all that, but it's Lana's in Paris. It's a different show at this. I always thought that the show changed in season 5, but now I'm seeing it actually changed in season 4.
Well, let's see how good the show gets in season 4. I have no idea. So
Probably worse than this.
We'll see. All right, here we go. Title Crusade aired September 22nd, 2004. The day in history Lost debuted. Lost, the show Lost,
Notably,
which is one of my
we
favorite
lost
shows.
a background actor, probably.
Oh, yeah. And then that background actor,
Left Smallville.
Evangeline Lilly, who I met. I finally met her at a con, and I went up to her and I said, if I had known you were a background actor in Smallville, I totally would have hit on you, and I probably would have married you. And she's like, oh, and she was really cool and funny about it. She was really, it was fun, and she was so kind. And
did it seem like she remembered her time on Smallville?
She did.
She's from Vancouver.
She said, I remember you being really nice to everybody. I can't say so much for Tom, but I remember you
I've
were
heard
really
that.
No, she didn't say it. But she did say that
I have
about
heard
me.
that.
I'm telling you.
It's untrue, but I've heard that.
Director Gregory Beeman, writers Al Goff, Miles Miller, guest star Erica Durance as Lois Lane, Margot Kidder. Are you Margot kidding me? As Bridget Crosby, Ona Grauer as Dr. Gabrielle Vaughn, Dan Joffrey as hospital receptionist Dee Halifax, Rekha Sharma as Dr. Hardin, plus for the first time, a new title co-star, Jensen Ackles as Jason Teague.
You know, I got to say, I remember when he came on the show and I was like, man, this guy deserves his own show. I think he could do something.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he'd already had a full career.
Well, he also auditioned for Smallville and didn't get it.
Yeah, it's weird seeing him on the show now and thinking if he was Clark Kent through the series so far, it just feels like it wouldn't have been.
Well, you always say that, but if he was, and then Tom, you might have said the same thing.
Yeah, probably.
You only think of Tom as the role.
Right.
He just did. So I can't imagine anyone playing the role. But if someone else played the role, maybe, I don't
There's
know.
another
Like if someone was Lex
happened.
Luthor, it'd be different. Maybe he'd be the best Lex Luthor.
You imagine me and Jared on Supernatural?
Kal-el returns to Smallville in search of a sign that Lex Luthor has also been searching for. Lois Lane arrives in town to investigate the suspicious death of her cousin and coincidentally will allow for Lionel Luthor to walk a free man. All the while, Martha Kent is holding her family together by a thread. Back at it. We open the episode 3 months later with a video diary message from Chloe, who we saw last get obliterated in a house explosion. The video is her post-mortem message designated for Clark to find her killer. However, we see Chloe's cousin Lois watching the video. Lois leaves to head for the Kent farm to track down Clark. However, she gets lost while driving, and while contemplating smoking a cig, she receives divine intervention in the form of a lightning bolt that causes her to crash into a cornfield where she finds none other than the fetal position, naked Clark Kent.
Okay, I noticed that your voice went up when you were talking about naked Clark, but what I really liked about this is look at the introduction of Lois Lane's character. You know what I mean? You learn so much about her in that car. You know, she's on the phone. She's trying not to smoke the cigarette. Like, by the time, you don't even know who she is. No one knows who she is.
Yeah.
Until she meets Clark, and then he asks who she is. I mean, we know, but I thought it was really cool. I thought Erica made a splash. Like, she really just became
100%.
somebody who should be there. And just like Jensen, kind of like, they weren't just passerbys. You can already feel it. Like, there's something important with these guys. Anyway.
Lois tries to lend a helping hand and avoid dong eye contact.
Excuse me?
Dong eye contact. She doesn't want to see Super Wiener right now. However, Clark is bewildered and has lost all his memory. I wonder what a Super Wiener would look like. A Kryptonian wiener. Strong.
One of the things that's funny about Lois is she speaks her subconscious. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
She says things out loud.
Feel bad for the Kents. This is the second season opener where their son has just been missing for months on end.
Yeah.
Thoughts on these intros to Lois scenes we just talked about. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. It had energy. I forgot what happened in the end of last season to Clark, so I'm wondering why he's this guy now.
He went into the wall.
Yeah, to save Jonathan, I think.
Okay, so he's got this Kal-el persona right now.
Yeah, so he gets sent back to Earth for some reason and is Kal-el. He's not Clark.
Listen, here's what doesn't make any sense. What we'll find out in the episode that he had to go through this for some rebirth, which makes no sense of what the rebirth is about at this point. But that's what he did. He went through the cave wall. Now he's back, doesn't remember anybody. And I think the standout performance is Martha Kent once again, who is just fierce. She's a lioness. I love it.
Because she doesn't have a lot to do. And she could have walked through these scenes, but the emotion, the gravitas, the weight of it all, it was, is gravitas the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
We cut to a scene in Egypt inside a new set of caves where all white licks Luther, I like that suit, receives an ancient statue artifact. On the back are familiar Kryptonian symbols. Back in Smallville, Lois takes Clark to the hospital to get checked on for a lightning strike injury. As Lois tries to release Clark to the hospital, he drops trowel and flashes the people in the waiting room.
Is this a Kryptonian thing? Because remember, Clark's
cousin, they're
cousin...
used to being naked, I guess. On Krypton.
They are?
No, I don't
it's
think
a
so.
nude planet?
But I will say this. It was like, we get it. The nude thing. So when the woman's going, oh, and then she makes a face, it's like, that joke's over already. Let's not.
Yeah, but it was funny to see it in Smallville.
It was fun, but I was like, all right, stop eating scenery here, folks.
You know, it was interesting, the last scene, the Egypt scene. So, Tom, when I watched this, I didn't watch the episode normally. I found there's like a DVD commentary of Al Goff, Erica Durance, Annette, Miles, and Ken Horton talking about the episode. So there's a lot of good nuggets in it. One of the interesting things was that Lex Egypt scene was supposed to be the first scene in the episode, but they rearranged it because they wanted this whole entire episode to be the intro to Lois Lane, essentially. And just geared.
On the other side of the world in Paris, we see Lana living her best life, photographing the city until she runs into Jason Teague, a fellow American seeking help with buying a gift for his girlfriend, who turns out to be Lana.
I thought they made Granville Island look...
Yeah, right. That's
really
what we used to. Yeah, they made Granville Island.
That's really good.
It seems like they're celebrating their 3-month anniversary. Great. Look, I thought this scene was okay. The reason I didn't love it is because it went on too long with the joke. The joke was way too long. It should have been like, yeah, I'm trying to buy this for my girlfriend. You think she'd like it? She's like, no, definitely not. Oh, really? Why? Because we met on a crash and it should have been boom. It was like all of a sudden it's 5 minutes later. It's like, oh, funny. I was like, F you, man.
But I still think
they were great.
It's a clever intro of the character.
Rather
than, hey, here's Lana's new boyfriend.
I think they just should have cut it down a little bit. It was a little bit too much. Thoughts on the Jensen introduction? Well, you know, working with Jensen was always amazing. I didn't have a ton with him, but when we worked together, he was just fun. He was just ready to do anything. He was easy to work with. He was professional. He just always did a great job, you know?
There's a guy who's a fan of the show, Daniel Koo, who... he put together like a collage for us, and we'll find a way to put in this episode, but he like shot on site footage in Vancouver of certain scenes. So he has the Paris place I forget the town. It's
probably Coquitlam.
No, Gastown, Vancouver.
Gastown,
that's right.
Yeah.
The reason it's called Gastown is because they still have gas lamps. And
like
there was a gas jack. Apparently used to,
Back at Smallville Medical, but with a different patient, we see Martha reading to her comatose husband, Jonathan. She denies doctor's advice to pull the plug, even though he is brain dead and her insurance is capped. Poor Martha. In another room, we see Lois and Clark talking, or Lois talking with Clark, staring blankly. Despite Lois' attempts to prevent Clark from leaving, he lifts her up and moves her aside to exit the room. I thought that was funny. Tom, how many takes?
One.
Good. Any thoughts of these first couple of days working with Erica? Do you remember her talking about coming to do screen tests, get your approval before she was on the show?
Yeah, I remember they had me come back a couple of days early, which I wasn't a big fan of, in order to meet and do some scenes with Erica. I mean, I really wasn't. But then when I met her, I was like, she's just awesome. And the way that she kind of just spins like that, it made it easy for me to not really do much other than watch her. It was a good introduction between our characters. We didn't have to jump into the banter, which you'll see in the next episode, where we start to actually get a little like romantic banter.
What was her background Clark again, too? Because I remember she came on inside of you like years ago, and she said she used to do casting. But did she do casting for Smallville?
For Smallville.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I will say is I've got to know Erica quite fondly, and she's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And what I will say about her is what you see on screen is not her at all.
Oh, really?
She's shy. She's sweet. She doesn't appear to have a ton of confidence. Like, she's just reserved. And so I think she was nervous playing this role. But when that camera was rolling, it was magic. I was like, dude, look at your performance. Stop being nervous. But we all do that. I did it with Lex. I was like nervous and like, just
it's cool because there isn't really a character on Smallville that does that. That like even Pete didn't really snarky and make jokes and stuff, but now there's a character to bring some humor, which is cool.
Yeah. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. AG1 has been a sponsor for a while because we really dig them. Our listeners dig AG1, and it's something that we have incorporated in our lives, Tom and I, and many millions of people around the world. It's something that just really helps. For me, Tom, I don't like taking pills every day, tons of vitamins. You have to pop all these pills. And AG1 has everything you really need in a little drink where you put some powder in some water, you mix it, it tastes good, and you're done. You could do that in the morning and start a healthy routine for this new year. I know you do it every day.
Well, listen, this is off script because and this is like true. I just got my new order of AG1 that I bought myself because that's how much I like it. I'm not even lying.
You didn't even ask them for
no. I wanted to buy it.
You didn't want to wait. You're like, I'm just buying this stuff now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We had someone who said, I was taking AG1 and then I stopped and I noticed how I felt. Like I felt worse. So then I started taking it again. What was his name? It was
from Jersey.
Bob Knudsen. That's right.
I think Bob needs to be sponsored by AG1.
I know, right? Taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should at least be simple. That's why for the past couple years, I've been drinking AG1 every day. No exceptions. It's just one scoop mixed in with water once a day, every day, and it helps me feel energized, focused, just ready for the day. I have to take it. Each serving of AG1 helps deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more. I had so many people told me, because I got a lot of gas, you need to take probiotics, prebiotics, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's more, but this is all included in it. And my gas is better. It's a powerful habit, not the gas. AG1, it's a powerful habit that's also powerfully simple.
If there's one product I had to recommend to elevate your health or anyone's health, it is AG1. That's why we take it, and that's why we've partnered with them for so long. So if anyone listening to this wants to take ownership of their own health, I would say start with AG1.
Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/talkville. That's drinkag1.com/talkville. Check it out.
This show is brought to you by Betterhelp.
Betterhelp has been with us for a long time, and there's a reason for it, because we believe so strongly in BetterHelp and therapy, making therapy affordable and for everyone, because no matter who you are, we all have our issues, we all have our problems, and sometimes we can't solve them by ourselves. And we try to be the big guy, but it's important to know that there's somebody else out there, a professional that can help you, and that is BetterHelp. Around New Year's, look, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you finally organize one part of your space and you want to tackle another. Or maybe you're taking your supplements every morning and now you want to actually eat breakfast too. Whatever your goals for the new year are, therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Even if you've added some new routines in there, it's so easy. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime with no additional charge. And I want to let you know that some people are a little nervous to go, I don't know, I don't vibe with this person. There's no questions asked. You just change it. They don't have to know. You don't have to tell them yourself. You just change it. It's important. So get on that, will you? Why wait for a new year when you can celebrate you and the changes you've already made right now?
Therapy from BetterHelp can get you there and help you, love the journey, and love this new year.
Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/talkville today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkville. Talkville. Walking down the hospital hallways, Martha catches a glimpse of Clark and cries out for him. After 3 months of not seeing him, she is overjoyed that her son is back, however, has no memory of her, and instead tells her that he is waiting for a sign. Lois tries to explain the situation, but Martha tells her to beat it. Back in Egypt, Lex is planning his departure and bribing locals to keep his visit secret. He boards a private jet conveniently placed among the sand dunes that looks like shit CGI. Walks into a mobile hospital to get his blood purified in order to survive because of the poisoning months prior. He must do so frequently to stay alive. Egypt, I don't remember anything in Egypt. No, that's not true. I remember wearing that suit, and I remember...
Oh, you probably had to work... Both you guys... I assume we're tipped off that you would have like shirtless scenes in the first couple episodes.
Yeah, that's why I got ripped up.
Because you look like you had worked. Like,
I was working out pretty like hard before that. Did they tell you, Tom?
No, they never told me.
You're just naturally
I had a
ripped.
tendency during breaks to actually work out a lot. I didn't work out during the season because I didn't have time. But I used to get in really good shape, and then I would get the script a couple of days ahead of time. Be like, oh, Grant, I'm naked in 3 scenes this episode. All right.
There was a double on one shot. I could tell it wasn't your tight ass.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, somebody had a beautiful ass.
Someone sent in.
Beautiful, bro.
One of the Property Brothers used to be a stand-in for
Yeah, that was my ass. I'm a property brother. I don't know what that means.
You know, they're like HGTV guys. They're twins.
Oh, I wish I could remember.
Oh, yeah. I love those guys.
Man
One of them was Tom.
We follow each other.
Okay.
No one cares. By the way, I want to just point out real quick. Now that I kind of understand what was going on, Tom, I think you did a really awesome job playing sort of like you're not from this planet. You don't know anybody.
Really?
It was really ambiguous.
I didn't like it at all.
I liked it. I thought it was like, I really thought you kept to that tone, to that character. You sort of were apathetic. You were like, fuck these earthlings.
Yeah, because I don't know how else you could have played it.
Dude, it was
like,
perfect. Don't even say a word. That's it.
Thanks.
He's dressed in black shirt, gets shown around his fortress of solitude by his mother to help jog his memory unsuccessfully. Clark sees the picture of Jonathan, says that he is not his father, slams the picture down, which I thought was really cool. And during Lex's flight home, the plane hits turbulence, causes the loosely protected artifact to fall and shatter. And inside of it, Lex finds a glowing, mysterious stone. And as he finds the stone, get this, Clark begins to receive ear-piercing signals. He regains composure, having seemingly received the before-mentioned signal. He tells Martha that he is Kal-el from Krypton, shoves his mom to the ground, and then supersonically flies into freaking space.
You know, there's a couple of things that happened here. Is one when Martha brings Clark up into the loft, he's wearing the same shirt from Red. The short sleeve collared black shirt, and I noticed that.
I did.
And then when he goes on the plane and he, the thing comes through the wall and he catches it, I was like, oh, is Lex going to see him? I thought that was a good moment.
Yeah, that was really cool. Tom, the flying stuff. Do you remember what you went through, and were you hesitant and sort of like, no, I'm not flying. They had to convince you like, no, this isn't Clark. This is Kal-el.
Yeah, there was some of that, but then again, it was, what are you going to do? I do recall being on this thing that you had to lay on in order to keep your head up to fly, and it was almost like surfing where you really had to kind of get your chest up. And I made a point to not blink when Clark was flying. That was a choice I made, which wasn't easy because they're blowing wind at you.
Not Clark,
but
Kal-el.
I just never wanted him to blink flying, and hopefully I get away with it.
Back in Paris, the American tourists decide to get kinky inside a historic church, freaks. Jason leaves to go plan Lana's birthday adventure the next day. While working on the art project in the church, Lana touches a symbol from a sculpture, weird, and receives a burst of energy that courses over her body. Felt like Da Vinci Code-esque.
Yeah, this is just like a weird excuse to get Lana back in.
What?
Because in real life she just fucks off.
Why is she getting this symbol stuff? What is going on there? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
I didn't understand. What does Kal-el and all that stuff have to do with Lana in Paris?
I tell you what, it'll all make sense if she ends up getting a tattoo. Then it'll all make sense.
Well, she did.
Oh, it makes sense.
Oh, that was the joke. All right, well, I don't know what the hell to say about that, but it just was like, what are we doing? That was the thing that I didn't like about the episode. It just made zero sense.
Well, what it did bring in is, does Jensen's character know? And later, when Jensen's character's mother comes around,
it's too much of a stretch.
I don't know any of
I thought it was lame-o Calrissian. Back in Smallville, Martha makes an unknown call seeking help with Clark. As she hangs up, she's greeted by Lois Lane. After a couple of funny quips about Starbucks, Lois tells Martha that Clark may know something about Chloe's death. Martha tries to tell her that Clark likely has no idea what happened, but Lois makes an emotional appeal to get help to take Lionel down. Now,
I love the way that, again, Annette sort of holds her ground, yet is polite. You got Lois showing her tenacity, but Martha just still kind of being like, even she takes the mug from her and says goodbye. Like, just little things. It's great stuff.
Back in the air, Lex is observing his new stone. His pilots pick something up on the radar, but aren't sure what it is. A bird? A plane? We get it. But, it was hokey. It was too much.
I think they could have stopped at a bird. What is that, a bird? And then just moved on. Everybody.
Or even if he goes a bird,
oh, yeah. Or just played it differently. We then see Clark make contact with the jet and rip open the door to get inside, which was dope. While there, he pulls the stone into grasp. His grasp escapes before Lex can pull himself together to see what happened. Interesting, we get another Lex looking through the peephole shot. It's like the third or fourth one in the series. Yeah, I guess they like peeping holes. I guess.
Peeping Toms. Back in Smallville, Martha's trying to clean up inside the barn. She's interrupted by Bridget Crosby, a representative Dr. Swan, who she has called for help. Bridget begins to share details of Kal-el's destiny, and Martha snaps, knowing that Clark's secret has been shared. She goes on to tell Martha that Clark has fully embraced his destiny and that the only challenge to a father's will is a mother's love.
Great line. Great line.
Martha's uncertain about facing Clark alone, so Bridget gifts her black kryptonite, which is pretty cool.
So I didn't like the scene until I realized like the impact and gravity of the characters in it, because I didn't know that Margot Kidder was
Lois Lane.
Yeah, and because
how dope is that?
There's a line where she makes reference of having a fling with Dr. Swan. And that's like the little nod to it.
Yeah.
And one of the most interesting things, and the thing I watched, was they were talking about wanting to have Christopher Reeve there for that scene, and schedules or something didn't work out. So he must have still been alive at the time it was shot. Because they wanted Annette to have a scene with him. It just didn't work out.
You know what? I will say
sick.
That Margot was such a wonderful human being. I did a convention with her also, and we talked for hours. We went gambling. We were in Metropolis at the Superman event, and she and I played. There was I have a picture of her in front of a Superman with her picture on it, gambling machine.
That's awesome.
and she was so sweet and funny, and it was a tragic loss.
We should share that with the patrons.
Yeah. Lex goes to pay a visit to his father in federal pen. Which I got bored of all these visits with the same shots of Lex talking.
But the scenes are really good.
They were great, but it was just kind of boring.
Part of the problem, Bryce, with Challenge is everything that's ever shot at a location is shot that day. So you have 3 scenes in that same shot, and all you're trying to do all day is not look through the bars.
You could have mixed it up. You know what I would have done? Side shot, side angle of Lex. I would have done one from the back. I would have done like more of a low camera angle on the floor, looking up at Lex without seeing the cage or whatever. Not that I'm just saying what I would have done. I would have mixed it up. Anyway, Lex catches Lionel banging out push-ups and making jokes at his son's Forbes cover appearance. And Lex is convinced that Lionel was behind the midair heist, but Lionel has no clue what he's talking about. We then learn about some theory about 3 relics around the world being combined to reveal ultimate knowledge. And this is why Lex was in Egypt. Lex then pokes his father for having interest in these relics to save his life. He then questions him about Chloe's death and his own poisoning, both of which Lionel denies. The scene was really cool. It was. It was just, it's a game of chess. It's always a game of chess with these two. And Lex is like, you're going to rot in prison, Dad. And, eventually he says, don't kill what you can't wound.
And I think this was the scene where you guys are like talking over each other.
Oh, that was great.
Really
I
cool.
like when that happens.
Awesome.
It felt like real conversation. I wish they'd do that more.
One thing I saw that John does, and many actors don't do this, and that probably most people try not to do this, is John has a tendency to leave his mouth open when he speaks. And very rarely do people really do that. Yeah. It's a brave sort of thing, but he really uses his mouth in even after the dialogue. And go back and watch that scene again. The way he's got nothing to do but be in jail in a cage. Yet he's still moving around like a lion.
According to John, he always uses his mouth. He's told me that. Clark returns to Smallville and does some patty cake with the walls to unlock a secret door in a new, brightly lit room. Inside, he takes the stone that he hijacked, places it onto a table, and leaves. And as he does, Clark comes face to face with Martha. She pulls out the black kryptonite, hits him in the chest with it. We then see both sides of Clark physically start to separate. Clark, Kal-el. Martha throws Clark in the black kryptonite, and he stabs Kal-el with it, which is awesome. Doing so causes a burst of energy, which knocks out Martha, wakes up Jonathan, returns Clark to his normal self. This was dope. The effects were great. You coming apart, like, splitting from Kal-el. I thought it was dope. Do you have any memories of this?
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it was probably me and Chris Sayre. He had all over his shoulder. He's my stunt double. He probably choreographed it. What I love is there's that little moment where Clark yells "Mom," that really brings you back to show you he's in there. And then Mom tosses the rock and he uses it and punches. It was just cool.
You know what I would have loved? The sound effects. You know that sound effect? I'm not gonna be able to do it, but it was like, "Mom."
Like the horror movie, like possession kind of thing.
It's almost possession kind of thing. They could have used that to like a distant echo through it. Just before this in Paris, we see a very scared and confused Lana waking up naked in her Paris apartment after the supernatural occurrence, having no recollection of getting there after the burst of light hit her in the church.
She really seemed messed up.
She did.
She did a great job.
Lana.
Yeah.
The next day, the Kents reunite in Smallville Medical. Jonathan, they're just making out. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, what the F is going on? Like, it's not time for a makeout scene. It's time to be hugging and like, I'm so glad you're alive. But like,
yeah, this was Clark cock blocking them this time.
Yeah, good. Thank God somebody cock blocked him. Jonathan asked Clark about his flying, but Clark says, that ain't him. It was Kal-el. Martha then talks about how hard it was to keep the family together during the last few months and why she was able to pull it together. She was great. But across the pond in Paris, we get an unnecessary, sultry, silhouetted shower scene with Lana.
Totally unnecessary. Completely. It was like a scene out of Bad Boys. You know how everything in those movies are like low and like lit like that?
Or like a Mission Impossible.
Where's the Ferrari going to drive
Guarantee
through?
Beeman wanted this more than anything, pervert. She exits the shower to find a new tramp stamp of the same mysterious symbol that emitted light inside the church prior. I was just like, what the fuck, F? Lionel gets his second visit of the episode, this time from Lois Lane. Before trying to shoo her away, Lionel points out that she bites her nails, just another neurotic trait that they push on Lois, which I liked in the introduction: gum chewing, coffee drinking, talkative, nail biting. We get it. Lois tries to pin her cousin's death on Lionel, who denies it, but instead says Chloe's death is a result of her own actions and misdealings. Lois speculates that without Chloe's testimony, that Lionel will walk away a free man, and the fact that, in fact, he is being set up in this whole situation.
I thought, from a writing standpoint, that was a brave thing for her to say. I mean, I've already watched the next episode, which helps that. But it made me think, and I like the way it made Lionel think. Like, maybe he's not in charge. Maybe.
Lois leaves to pay an emotional visit to Chloe's gravestone. She vouches to find her killer. I kept thinking, like, on that shot when it's Lois on the ground, you're panning behind her, and like the camera's moving, that you're gonna see Chloe behind her. But that's not what happened. Clark interrupts the heart-to-heart moment to tell her she is not alone. And I like that we saw Lois feel like we got to see her empathize and miss Chloe, because I hadn't seen that yet. And I was like, does she even care about her?
Yeah.
And this helped that. Clark goes on to apologize for their previous interactions and offers a helping hand. As Lois leaves, Clark uses an x-ray to look underground into Chloe's coffin, finding it to be empty. He yells out, "She's alive!" How do you know that? I don't know. I just say stuff that others don't know. Highlights and lowlights. I thought the whole episode was fast-paced. I thought there was some great effects, some good acting, some really good filmmaking. I thought it was overall a really good episode.
It's just the lawn stuff killed it for you.
Yeah.
I don't think everything in the episode was completely necessary, but I will say that everything in this episode was done well.
Mm-hmm.
It was all done very well.
Factor. Boy, this has saved me so much money. And they're not only delicious meals that get delivered to your house, ready to go, ready to eat, but it has saved me so much money. You have no idea how much money I spend in delivering food to my house. And you get the delivery fees and all these things. Guys, get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions.
Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep me going no matter what's on my schedule.
Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting time in the kitchen. And not only does Factor offer fast, simple solutions when I'm too busy to cook, folks, they also help me stay on top of my goals. With offerings like Protein Plus and Keto, I can stay on track. This is definitely going to come in handy for my New Year goals. Factor has everything I need for a week of flavorful, nutritious eats. In addition to ready-to-eat meals, they have cold-pressed juices, which, Tom, you love these things.
I love them. Love them.
Smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep me energized during frantic times, which, if you know me, I'm frantic. Head to factormeals.com/talkville50 and use code talkville50 to get 50% off. That's code talkville50 at factormeals.com/talkville50 to get 50% off. Factor Meals. All right, interesting things of note. The title refers to Kal-el and Lex's search for the Stones of Power. The title refers to Kal-el's and Lex's search for the Stones of Power.
Yes, I think that's a whole recurring thing
Crusade.
This whole season is like those stones.
Margot Kidder, as we know, Bridget Crosby played Lois Lane in 4 Superman films. She is the 4th alum of the Superman feature films to have a role in Smallville, following Annette O'Toole, Christopher Reeve, and Terrence Stamp. Bridget Crosby's relationship with Dr. Swan in a former life is an allusion to the relationship of Superman, Christopher Reeve, and Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, in Superman features. Aside from season 1, this is the first season to feature a new character added to the main cast that has not previously been featured as a guest star, this being Jason. I don't know. It's not, because John Glover is a regular.
That wasn't previously a guest. Technically, Glover was a guest the whole first season.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Lex's ill condition is the result of his father's poisoning his brandy and Covenant. This is its only appearance due to the crystal fire
that was kind of
curing
surprising.
him upon being activated.
So he actually tried to kill his son. It wasn't someone else. He tried to kill Lex.
Apparently.
It's heavy.
Did he?
We tried to, yeah.
Where?
Right? He didn't want to just wound him.
Oh,
in
with
the
the
last season.
Oh, with the brandy.
Yeah.
Talk about the brandy.
Yeah, he just tried to murder his own
unless
son.
there's something that says he didn't do it, but
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to
It's-
Mike, the poster guy.
Yeah.
He makes these badass Talkville posters, movies and TV combined. Do you think, this is his question, do you think we'll ever see a more epic flight takeoff scene than the one in this episode? Because he's still waiting for another. Music, acting, camera work, and special effects. Truly impressive. Thank you, Mike. We love you. Thank you.
I thought it was cool. I don't, there was some thought into like, there's going to be vibrations around you. You have, I was kind of like, how do I get in a cool ninja move and then take off? But it was helpful that they told me all these other things were going to be happening so I could be actually more still. And then it's really just jumping, and then the visual effects take it from there.
Now it's time for the hotline.
Talkville
These are patron
hotline.
privileges. and go right into it. Let's just get going here. This is Mike.
Hey y'all, it's Michael P from Texas. In the episode Crusade, we got our first look at Black Kryptonite, which I thought was pretty cool. What's been your favorite version of Kryptonite thus far? Red, green, or now black? Thanks.
I would say red because it gave me more to do. Green was never fun because I always had to like play pain. That's pretty simple there.
You know, for me, Kryptonite, like I always found it hokey that there's green and red and black and all these things. And I just was like, green is the Achilles heel. Green is the thing that kills Superman, and that's it. But I understand the whole lore and you know, insight to Krypton, and they have these rocks that are rare and are forbidden that can change or alter Kryptonians. And
Yeah, it's for the fans that are like really into
it's fine. It's fine. Esteban.
It's still pretty funny though that now we're in season 4 and neither Lionel or Lex have figured out just to put on a kryptonite necklace or a ring.
Uh-huh.
Hi guys, this is Esteban G from Dallas, Texas, calling about season 4, episode 1, Crusade. My question is for Tom. Obviously, Erica is such a great addition to the cast, but were you involved in anything about to see how compatible you were with her before she was actually casted? And was there any other actresses that you know of that were auditioned before she was ultimately picked? Obviously, you guys have great chemistry and it really shows in the show. Thank you.
The short answer is I flew back a couple days early and met the actress who they had cast to play Lois, and we went on from there. We had a great time. I have no idea who else they did, yeah.
Christopher with voicemails. Let's see what Christopher has to say. Christopher, are you there, buddy?
Hey everyone, this is Christopher from Rhode Island. Tom, your intense takeoff flight scene is the coolest part of the entire episode. Do you remember if it was a personal acting choice to fly sternly with your arms by your side rather than out in front of you in a typical Superman pose? You guys are the best. Thanks so much for the podcast. Have a great day.
Yeah, and I think that somehow was established during a promo that we did like with Warner Brothers publicity. Yeah, I tried not to stand with my hands on my hips or stick my arm out like that. Yeah. Little things that make it different.
That's true. That's true. It was different than the Superman because he wasn't Kal-el. Kal-el flies differently probably than Clark, and Clark would do the arm thing eventually. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Natalie.
Hi, this is Natalie from Michigan. For the cornfield scene, can you talk about the preparation? Other actors have talked about how preparation can negatively affect them mentally and physically for scenes like that. And is there anything you would change or any advice you would give to a younger actor preparing for a scene like that? Thanks.
I think, first of all, coming back from 2 months off, we only got like 2 months off. And then coming back on the show, you get the nerves back. You get the, oh my God, like it feels like it's day one again. You want it to be good because it's the first episode, getting back into that character, getting back into that focus. And a good director like Beeman will say something like, Rosenbaum, you're not there yet. You're not there. You're not Lex. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you need a little more behind the eyes, a little, things to get you going. And then before a scene or two, a couple of takes, and you're.
Is that the case where the show is getting more popular, but you guys are getting more comfortable with the character? So is it easier?
We are. It gets easier, but the first episode back is like 2 months off. It's like you got to slowly get back into it. It's kind of.
Well, I also think that we were lucky that all the actors on Smallville. I think one of the challenges, nobody wanted to just make it easy. Everybody always tried to make it better. And I've talked about this before, where directors who didn't direct performance were not asked back. And you talk about Beeman, those little triggers to keep your attention. I mean, all the actors did that on the show. And I've been on other shows, a lot of actors are trying to coast. They're not trying to make any steps or moves or engagement. They're just trying to get done. But every single actor was always just trying to make it better.
I agree. This is Stephanie. This is a good question.
Hi, Michael, Tom, and Ryan. This is Stephanie Ann from Rhode Island.
Bryce.
In season 4, episode 1, Crusade, Jason mentioned that it's Lana's birthday tomorrow. Does that mean they started dating when she was 17? Thanks. Love you all.
Scorched.
Good one.
Yeah,
This was actually interesting, though, because the last couple of seasons, you guys were talking about, Lana dates her coach. And I was just expecting some established coach, but them setting the scene that they met in Paris is kind of different.
Like some big guy from the NFL who takes a high school job.
Well, look, if maybe she's 18, she's, some people are 19, 18, going in their senior year. Maybe she's I don't know. Let's just hope for that. But B,
I don't even think we're allowed to talk.
Look, when I was in high school, sometimes freshmen in college would be dating a senior girl, or a senior in high school would be dating a sophomore or freshman girl, and there was nothing wrong with it. No one thought twice about it. Today, it's different. It's just a different time.
Jumping back to the other question about coming back and getting into the characters, one of the good things we had going for us was their characters had all gone away. And so you embrace that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Everybody's been gone for 3 months. So there is a bit of a warm up, but then again, we're walking into a very well-oiled machine with a lot of familiar people. We know what we're doing. It's like, all right, let's go. So yeah.
I just thought about something weird. I remember in high school, see, I was a dork. I didn't get girls. I didn't get girls. I never really went out with anybody. I don't think I had sex till after 18. But I remember there were like 17 or 18-year-old seniors going out with 14-year-old freshmen. Yep. And I'm like, now that I look at it, I'm like, 14 is a child.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. But I guess 17 or 18 is also a child. I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. Back to the script. Here's some questions. Heidi, fun fact. Lex Luthor says, my father 140 times across the first 3 seasons. I would know I counted. Heidi, God bless his life. No, I love you. Thank you for that. 140 times. My father.
That's like a chat GBT question.
I love
it. Or
it.
Siri. How many times did he say?
Dai Kwan, which scene in your first episode filming together did you guys feel your chemistry click or the weight of portraying such iconic couples fall on your shoulders? Tom?
When I went to read with her and she'd already gotten the role, we were in that director's office. Remember there was that one director's office that you could use when you're directing? The corner
and
one. The corner office, and Beeman was there and Eric was there. We met. And, I was a little grumpy because I didn't really want to be there, to be honest, because I had to come in 3 days early, which I didn't want to do. But then her and I started reading scenes, and I thought she was just cool. She was game.
Yeah.
She was like
beautiful,
strong,
smart.
And she's beautiful. And I'm like, this is going to be easy. Like, I don't think there was no heavy lifting. We just got along.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than going in a room going, hey, what do you think? Because I've had chemistry reads for characters. And they're like, we want you to meet this, and we're considering this. And when I was a producer on something, and I meet with women, I'm like, I just don't have any attraction to them. There's no chemistry. It doesn't mean you have to be physically attracted to them. But when you read and you talk, nothing's kind of really clicking. And they're like, oh, I really like her. I'm like, I don't feel this as an actor. And so
you're just not on the same page.
Yeah,
you just rhythm.
But also, I don't care what people say. I'd like to be physically attracted to someone who's going to be my love interest. Okay, sorry for being shallow. Oh well. Chrissy, why do they keep bringing up Lois smoking? I don't know. It's annoying.
How many movies have you played drag?
A couple. All right, Rosenbaum rating system.
And now,
what are you going to give this one? We're going to start with Tom.
I just think it was great. I think it's a big episode. I'm going to give it a 3.
3 roses. I'm going to give it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to give it
2.5.
I'll give it 2.5 roses.
I was between that and 2.
Yeah, I was going to say 2.
I feel like if there was more suspense or some kind of twist, I would have gone higher. It was a really good episode.
Yeah.
I think I'll give it 2.
Bryce, I'm going to go with a 2 as well. You convinced me.
Brought you down.
2 roses. Death and save count. How many people got saved? How many people died? 0
count.
Dead. 2 saved. The Crystal of Fire saves Lex. Martha saves Clark from his brainwashed persona. That's sort of. I guess he did with the Black Kryptonite. Through 1 episode, 0 dead, 2 saved. Series 92 dead, 105 saved. Now it's time for. He's not here. So Bryce's favorite scene. He's going to write down 3 scenes. We'll guess which one. I won last year, I believe. Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
3 scenes. The flying scene. Lex talking to Lionel in jail, and Annette, like the emotional, she's not going to pull the plug on her husband scene.
Ooh. You want me to go first?
I've got my choice right here. I already put my fingers down on which scene, so go ahead.
Go ahead.
2. Second one.
Mine's flying. 100% flying. Final.
No, it's the second scene. The Lex Lionel in the jail.
Really?
Yeah, it was really
Damn.
good.
You got it. You're up 1-0, Tommy.
Boom,
did you give him that? Did you email him that?
Yeah.
All right, look, that's it for this episode. We're gone until next week, until we talk about season 4, episode 2, Gone. And we can't wait for that. Good start. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for my patrons, our lovely patrons, patreon.com/talkville to support the podcast. Join today. Tons of perks. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Show support by joining Patreon, as I said, patreon.com/talkville. Any more information like merch from the show, talkvillepodcast.com. We still have some amazing art prints that are signed by me and Tom that are original prints. There's only 50, but now there's probably like 20 left. So get them. They're autographed personally by me and Tom. And the hotline number, all that stuff's on there. Subscribe, spread the word. And remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville. And once again, we can't forget our lovable patrons who make this podcast possible. Period. The end. Patreon.com/talkville. Be a patron, get your name shouted out, and a bunch of other perks. And most importantly, you're helping us out. So we're going to read the top tiers. And here we go. Nikki G, Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, Thomas the Leaf Blower, Sophie M, Betsy D, Abby P, Ray Harada, Karen Apple M, 99 more, Leilani and Brett G. Always hold on to Smallville. Estefan G, DJ Kento, Garrett W, Bob K, Kimberly L, Tom N,
Jason W, Osama A in the house. Glenda?
The Good
Glinda.
Witch P.
No, it's Glenda the Good Witch.
Yeah.
But isn't it Glinda? Oh, all right.
It's Glenda, isn't it?
Is that a new one?
I don't know. Yeah, she is. She's sort of new. Yeah.
Welcome to my world. Lana rhymes with banana. W.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it when I do that. Nancy D, Brian G, Sarah W, Vancouver Grips, Anna M, Amanda R, Teddy127, Michael P, Theo M, Ryan R, Jordan M, Randy B, Craig G, Karen P, Jorel, Hi Dad, Heather and Greg, I made Talkville say butts, Brian H, Eric K, Kristen B, Nanine W, Stephanie K, and Darth Achilles.
Wow, that's a lot. Finky, early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette D or Jeanette E, Deadvid, General Zod, Theodore, Big D, Doug R, Carlos C, Tommy Z, Boston 68, Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Homar K, Jesse C, Claire M, D Brown, Karen Era M, Jules M, Eldon Supremo. Eldon, thank you for, remember Eldon who gave us the poem that he wrote?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so awesome. Leslie V. McBurts, we just heard from on an episode we just recorded. Ginger Moose, Christoph S., Michelle M., Drew, Marisol P., Michael Kane doesn't blink. Actually, Michael Kane doesn't blink. Sebastian F., Sourpuss, Cranky Pants, Matthew, and Lincoln B.
Well, we can't forget the Coopers. Marion Louise L., CGO, Cindy C., Nikki L., Shannon Fo, Fannin, Tina E., Maverick, but not the pilot or the gambler, which, I want to know more about that. Jen T., not Gentle, Randy S., Cassie B., Brad A., Felicia R., Danny M., J.S., Rachel D. You're so good at these next three.
Gingerous Prime and Nate D. When you're rich, you aren't crazy, you're eccentric. And Chicken Flour, Sammy S.
Starkville's Derek. Spicy Brown says, Carrie Ann, the Coopers, again. Daryl E., Kyle F., Charlene A., Lady L., Spicy Chicken, who doesn't like that? Jenny B., Anna B., last son of Talkville, that's good. Monica T.
Tom is my hall pass. Jenna May C. I like that. Tom is my hall pass. How about me, you son of a... Jenna May C, Michelle M, Superman's Tidy Whiteys, Sausage V. Those two go together. Samuel Daddy M, Cameron R, Eric M, Jeffrey K, Tony K, Andy S, Pip Kenobi, and Katya C. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Thanks for the support.
Thanks. It's fun.